Hello, everyone. I'm Tassenix, and welcome to Plotting and Scheming, covering Season 72, 3 vs 3 Grand Arena Championship, Week 3. I am joined by the full regular cast, Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aisha, and Fatal. Tonight is a special edition. For the very first time, we're actually doing a live recording of the podcast. And, it should be a good chat as we, talk about how we ended out this season. Getting right to it, as far as my week went, it was 2-1. First two rounds, both against excellent opponents from Chromium, Barator, and Rockstar. And then, of course, round 3 here today against Sasha Aisha. And it was a really good fight. I loved how it went. We went into Fleet 7 banners down, but it was still possible for me to get the win. And it just barely escaped my grasp. We'll talk about it more later. Anyway, Dagger, how about you? How's the week?
Well, I went 3-0. I am just responding really quick to this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like you aren't responding.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did not lose the trench this week, so I maintain that it is bad on defense.
He needs.
So your mark stay from trench is what you're saying.
So bad.
Welcome to everyone who gets to watch this show unedited for the first time.
I don't edit. Why do you keep saying that? I don't edit anything.
They don't know that.
He does not edit shit.
These have always been one-take wonders.
Yeah.
And by request, Tass will be referring to Sasha Aisha as Daddy.
No, nobody. This is his request. This is. I fear that this is like a sex thing for him.
No, it's not even.
By him, you mean Dagger. By him, you mean Dagger.
Yeah, just say.
I also accept.
This is not a Sasha thing.
Sasha.
Yeah.
Like who thinks this is what Sasha comes up with?
There's only one person in the chat that needs to hear these words, and it's neither me nor Sasha.
Yeah, like in no world, Sasha can't even properly do like shit talking to somebody. He's like, "Oh, you're a jerk." I mean, his worst thing I think I've ever heard him say is like,
his best work is trying to impersonate Dagger when Dagger is absent.
Yeah,
oh, dude, it's awesome. It's not a good job, dude.
Dagger.
The
task, and it's really good job.
Hold on, I got this. Task your hat is silly. That's the best.
Right,
Sasha
that's what I'm saying. No, but when Sasha says it, there's more sting. No, fuck that. When Sasha says it, there's more sting because he'll say something bad and it's like, oh, that actually hurt my feelings. Because Sasha says nothing to nobody.
Mm-hmm. All right, focus, Dagger. How was the week?
I said 3-0.
Okay,
it was good.
3-0.
And I didn't lose the trench.
Okay, I'm so happy for you. TJ, how was the week?
I am going to claim I did get 3-0. But ground, I lost by 3 points. I got out-fataled. And I'm going to say that because I thought I had him, and then this man came in strong, and then ships. The cursed ships saved me, and even then, it was home one. So I claim I should technically be 2-1, but 3-0. So I finished the season strong with an 8-1. Probably one of the better ones I've had.
Nice. Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say. It, as far as overall for the season, it was still like 5-4. So, and like two of those wins are a Rhodium. So also,
yeah, I'll chime in by saying I went 8-1.
Nice. Like just about everybody on my server, but me, has had a banger of a season in that sense. And you know what? I actually still had a lot of fun with these matches. In some cases, especially the ones I lost. Anyway, back over anything else from you, TJ?
No, man, like I said, I don't really... The guy had a better game than me, like a better game plan, but I'll take my 8-1. So I'll take my strong finish. Like I said, I think I understood the assignment. I think Fatal crushed the damn assignment, which is bullshit because he set me up for failure.
Let him speak on his assignment
I will.
Get there.
I will. But like I said, I'm happy I'm 8-1. I'm just, as Darth Link would say, I'm coming for you, Tass. I'm going to bring the fire.
Also, and I'll say the same thing to you that I say to him,
Yeah.
Also, completely unrelated, the World Series is going to extra innings.
Yay. Anyway, on to Sasha Aisha. How was your week, sir?
Yeah, it was good. I went 3-0. Had some great matches overall for the season. 8-1, and only won a Rhodium over the entire season. So 8 real matches, 1 a Rhodium.
Wow!
And so that was great. And then, I mean, the other thing I'll add that just it's why I really enjoy this game is like two of my like great matches were like came this week, and it was obviously the one with you, Tass, was great, and then I had a great one with Arsenal as well. Just a lot of fun back and forth. So yeah, really a successful season from a win-loss perspective.
Very nice work. Fatal, last but not least. Yeah, it's been exciting to watch you this week. So tell us, how did the plan go?
2-1. I had RMC where I wanted him. He had like a drop plus a bit of bleed on top, but yeah, I just did a rookie mistake for. I'm not really used to. I mean, I've had great on offense, but do they really exist on offense if they're just like you're just like the Ahsoka squad. You just sit over here and I'm never going to play you, actually. You're the team that jumps on Ezra whenever he shows up. How about that? Yeah, I just doomed Queen Amidala. It's like, yeah, fucking no. Just do Pow. Pow's the only... Your Morgan has plus 0 health added. Pow is the guy who will kill you. Just take care of that. But anyway, I dropped that, so that's a 2-1. But yeah, it's been a weird season, man. I wasted the first 2 weeks more or less just doing kind of whatever and just seeing if the usual worked. And then it finally ripped things up in week 3 and said, no, I'm going to go to the new play style. But now I just feel like I have no sense of closure because I wasted the first 2 weeks. And so I'm like ready for week 2 and week 3. And it's like, nah, man, we're going back to 5s. I'm like, wait, what do you mean?
And when
I just got here. What do you mean?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just like I just got here. What do you mean it's time for 5s? So to be continued, I guess, in a month.
And when we come back next time, no set 23. So some of your tricks, I'm sure, will be changed up next time.
Not that I could think of too much.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, guys, let's dig into the regular agenda. First up, let's talk about meta-analysis. Any particular standout matches? I'm going to quickly review my spreadsheet. EP Mara Jade Star Killer, I botched once this week against Racewell Locale, and then the very next round did get it done for 57. And that was that was actually pretty unfavorable RNG too. Like, could not land a stagger on Cal to save my life. It was amazing. Recommend it to anybody. And then, of course, really more than anything else, should be Sasha Aisha's Hondo, Silvo, and Quig. Silvo really didn't do a whole lot that mattered, but the profit being consumed, ramping Quiggled through the long text level 6, just destroyed my Slacker before we got to 1 charge of Ultimate. Now, checking the data, so I went in with Slacker Hux FOSF. The data on that is kind of sparse for the kind of relics I was plugging in as a minimum, like Relic 8, stuff like that. But it was about 50% with Hux, right? If I had taken Dre instead of Hux, and I didn't have Dre, Dre was on defense. But if I'd had her, it's about 83% with the filters. So, lesson learned for next time. I mean, things will be different, but this season was probably the first 3 versus 3 in months that you actually had some type of incentive to break Dre away from Slacker. And I did get some decent results with it. I don't think I got a hold all season, but I was satisfied with the banners that it cost people to clear it. I was all right with that. Dagger, how about you? Anything meta you wanted to cover from this week? There's not usually too much new here at the end, but let's see what you got.
I really enjoyed Riva Starkiller Stick Ray on defense. Found plenty of uses for GI on offense with the Ninth Sister Cron, including the aforementioned Trench.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say the GI team, who were some of the greatest hits of the season, do you recall?
Yeah, Gas Trench, a couple other assorted teams. It doesn't need to hit into GLs. I wasn't going to ask the Riva team to do that anyways.
Sure.
Also, continued to get good results with Saw Rolocron. Like, I know that there are other cool things you can do with it. But yeah, being able to pivot around a lot of my answers was really, we can talk more about that in a little bit, but yeah, having a lot of flexibility on offense and being able to pivot my answers pretty effectively based on what I needed to do, whether it was rotating Ray to do what she needed to do, eventually putting her on defense and pulling Maz up for a Lord Vader counter and being a little colder to Ray Ezra. We're at a couple of really dicey fights with Leia. Even with the stun cron, it got a little dicey on a couple of those. I lost one with the Rolocron. I got she whirlwinded my Drogon and the assist killed him. But yeah, it was a lot of fun being able to rotate my answers around because so many things were very flexible this season. I didn't find myself needing the Rolocron or the Jawacron. I'm trying to think of any interesting things that I was able to do. Not as many interesting things. Yeah, I have more to talk about when you talk about the offense stuff, but I think that's all I have for the
Your
defense
favorite?
stuff.
Well, I mean, just meta matchups. Anything that stood out like a new type of thing or standout type of thing. We can save best attack and defense for slightly later. That's fine.
I mean,
Actually, don't we usually combine these in the third week? Best attack and defense and meta, so you can lump it all in.
I think it's worth it. Yeah.
Let's go.
yeah,
For it.
I was mostly thinking about, did we want to do like more of a just an open discussion about, like, I don't know if the guys here agree with me, but I do really feel like I never felt short of offensive tools, and I felt able to rotate stuff pretty effectively and efficiently outside of like a couple of counters, like have your answer for Ezra set in stone, but most other things rotated pretty easily around.
There was a lot of flexibility this season. I moved a bunch of stuff.
It also felt like defense meant something.
Yeah. Yeah, this
I
season
won
did
most
have
of my
so many
rounds.
answers to everything. True.
Yeah,
I-
that's all
I-
I got. If you want to,
Sorry?
if you want to move on to, I don't know if you want to keep doing this in order, but that's pretty much all I had.
Yeah. On to TJ. What do you got? Anything?
I actually, I
meta or-
actually faced your comp. And I think I brought it up. So it's funny that you ended up facing it, but I think where yours is more unfortunate is exactly where it is the relic disparity. Because I used your team, and maybe mine was just a little bulkier, but I went with the SOK, the Hux. And I think I was realizing it too late who the real culprit was. Just allowing your Silvo to continue to manipulate what's happening, because your Hux goes away pretty quick, right? And so from there, now we get to start manipulating the team. And he's not the damage dealer. I think it was Fatal who talked about it. It's that damn tank, man. He is literally. I was watching, and I should have recorded my fight when I did it myself. I was watching him just eat away because of the level 9 combined with his AoEs. You don't have that ability to try to out cheese it. And I don't. So I took your fight, but it was Kyle Katarn from round 2 because I had to go and find it. And I barely scraped out of that fight because I finally understood the assignment once I got it locked in fast enough. So I got Silva out to stop doing his bullshit and shenanigans and got to focus on Quiggled. But I was watching my SLKR literally just start bleeding slower and lower. And I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to get to the ults. So understanding what Sasha did and putting that together, to me, that was a surprise star. Honestly, like to me, it was your, and what we'll probably end up seeing is it's your JMK Ezra. So it's the end up season because you have to fully respect, and you can't just play, all right, I'm going to do hooks. And it's like, no, because he's AoEing and that 20% on top of it. So you're literally killing yourself at the same time.
Mhm.
As a favorite attack, though, it's the one I didn't record, and I was doing it, and I didn't come into the chat, but I took Dagger. It was the concoction of your idea of playing the stun game, and I got to do the Leia cheese, and this was against Silvo OG Hondo. Of course, Hondo didn't want to stun. OG Hondo didn't want to stun, but I was still able to lock that out for a 57. But it was a basically butt clinching fight as I'm going through trying to manually control the teams. And then once you get there, the idea is you're going to kill Pirate King Hondo. So let's say Silvo's gone. You just stop fucking with OG Hondo. You're just gonna go in on Pirate King because there's no revive because you can kill him fast enough. He just can't. He can't sustain fast enough with that evasion because you're just doing so much damage. So once Silva's out, kill Pirate King, then go take care of OG Hondo. But as Dagger has said it many times, getting to cheese it out was a highlight of mine because it was so clean once you had everything locked in. They can't maintain fast enough for the damage you're outputting.
Fair. All right. Thanks for sharing on it. Wow, that's actually a lot. Sasha Aisha, how about you? You know, your standout matches, your, meta observations, struggles of the week. What do you got?
Yeah, sure. So, should I combine attacks and defenses in here a little bit too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll start with like one of the things I was looking at doing, and it did pay off, as you've mentioned already in our match, was like I came into the week wanting to shake up the Pirate King Hondo meta that I was seeing a little bit, and I wanted to be able to leverage the Quiggle damage. As part of that, I jacked up his speed a bit. I left him in defense mods, but he had been quite slow. I made him a little faster because I wanted to run him with Silvo, and I wanted that mass assist. Anytime a tank takes any action, they get a mass assist on the Pirate Long, and it actually adds a lot of not only damage but survivability because Silvo using his basic on that mass assist heals the rest of the squad too. And so that ended up being effective. Just I think as you guys called out, the big difference maker is whether you bring Hux or D-Ray, and so many folks were setting D-Ray under crew with FOTP. So that was one sort of tactic coming in that I felt played out well. Then there were a couple of other things I was looking at doing that played out kind of nicely, which was one, just making sure I'd solved for Rey and Ahsoka. It felt like that combined with like one of the main things I was paying attention to was where were the Rolo and Jawa datacrons, because I just found that the stats on those can really change the nature of the counters you want to use. And one thing I did come to realize was that with the right combo of just it's a decent amount to pull back for offense, but if you just hold Leia and QA, Leia can get any of them out that has Ezra. So either a Rey or Ahsoka with Ezra, even with any of those datacrons, as long as you take the right approach. And I have one other input or learning on this that I'll share in a sec. And then QA can take the other very, very comfortably, even with one of the high stat datacrons. But one of the things that I learned in reading the kits a little bit closer was that actually setting Ahsoka with Ezra and a third, that the 25% turn meter on that squad in some ways was even better than a Rolo or Jawa datacron. I came to this learning kind of late, but because they would move enough that before that they would be able to take exile off of the sides prior to Drogon using his basic, meaning the backup plan could take effect. Because if Exile's up there, you one-shot them. And if you don't, that made sense. So I also kind of moved to a 25% turn meter datacron. That's a little bit in the weeds, but that was something that was kind of a cool learning. Then one attack that I leaned on, I think 2 times this week alone that was super cheap and pretty darn good banners was anytime I saw Fenzori, I brought Tuskens and they just stomp it. You want to save Chieftain's special if it's a Rose variant, because if Rose gets death markup, you want to cleanse it, but it is a cleansable one. So then you just use Chieftain special, and it's a nice 56 pretty consistently. And then the defensive squad that I saw you set on me that I had used to pretty good effect was Thano, Nest, and Hondo. I mean, those guys just hit so hard.
They really do.
Yeah, that they with the Hondo Datacron, that they were scraping banners off of everybody. I got some holds from them.
I took your idea, man.
Yeah.
I will honestly say, and I was telling Tass, I stole it basically, and I told Tass too. I took that split of pirates and I actually made it to a 3-man team. And what I mean by that, and that's what literally won me my round, because I got a hold with Pirate King, I got the hold with Athana with Nest because that was up top, and then bottom I had Maz. And so I just took Maz, Kix, and Quiggle.
Yeah.
I put that split. I took your one other split, doing it with Hondo with the Hondo Cron and Nest, and then I took Pirate King, and literally all 3 teams held out just because your resources were it was just broke down. I'm like, that's why I had to give you your flowers, because man, I stole that idea, and it literally got it to where I don't even think the round finished off because of the splits it pulled.
Shout out to Mole Pills, dropping 2K biddies in the chat. He says, man, I miss Jawas. I was a Jawa. Fair? I guess. Thank you anyways, man. Appreciate it. By the way, guys, simple, short questions here in the chat. You know, Dagger, I can respond in text. I mean, if any of you others here, Discord, are also following along on Twitch and or YouTube, you're welcome to respond if you want. But yeah, I mean, something brief we'll answer here in the chat. But if you want an actual question as a discussion point, we'll save some time here towards the later part of the show and handle those. So by all means, get them down. Dagger has stepped up to record those questions so we don't lose them for later. All right.
Yeah, I also just wanted to add that one of the things I really enjoyed the most about Attack was that, and everyone's comfortability is different, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Fleet was a non-factor this season for the first time in a long time. And I just wanted to say that because it felt good to not get hoed out and lose a match. Because normally I'm good for losing 1 match per season just due to Fleet.
Hashtag too soon for my opponent. So I'm gonna shout out and drop the rose petals for my opponent.
Oh, this has nothing to do with TJ getting hoed out. My apologies.
No. But it's like, I understand your logic, but that literally is the only thing that saved my bacon was the Fleet. But I agree. I also, I think I had to go watch a Fatal vid, and took pieces from that to, I forced his hand. Don't get me wrong. I did what I would consider, and again, I'm gonna keep pointing this to the Fatal-esque things for my Fleet, because I 3-manned one ship. No, I 3-manned 2 of the fleets, and then just got to take prof for the 3rd. And what I mean by that is, no, Zareth did it. I was able to go the Levi 3-man against the home 1, and I got that to work for 76. I lost a banner to it. And then I did the Bounty Hunter 3-man, and damn thing stole banners from me because he said a different comp. So I got a 73 and I was pissed. But I did do some undermanning that what I would even consider proud of myself that it actually went out.
All right. Good stuff. Sasha, before we move on from you, did you have anything else you wanted to throw in?
No, that covers it for now. Thanks, Seth.
Good stuff. Fatal, appreciate you holding on all this time. What do you have to say about this week as far as new meta matchups, your favorite attack and defense? What do you have?
Welcome to my recurring segment, Trash Watch, where I just tell you the stuff that I found against trash teams, because that's all anybody posts anymore and tells themselves it's good. All right. Trench. I beat a Watt comp with Gunions for 58 banners using Boss Nass, Jar Jar Binks. That seems like semi-unlosable. Like, my generator got down to 1 hit, but literally because I was just trying to go gambling with Jar Jar Basic. I just wanted the instant kill. I got the 10% on some other move where like feared them, but it's not really. That's not, fear is one thing, but it's the kills another. I ended up losing against Newt. I didn't think Newt would be able to extortion the generator. Apparently, the generator's done some shit. He had the dirt on it.
Saw that. Yeah, incredible.
Darth Revan,
You can extort the generator, Phil?
You sure as hell can. It was ridiculous.
What the hell has that thing been up to?
Because when he calls that mass assist onto the generator, that sucks.
To be fair, it's a big ball. So if you just put it together, that's a big sack. There's a lot to hide in the big sack.
Yeah, it's just got contraband there or something. Darth Revan, I did with like 3-man for 57. If you could go first, I mean, even if you don't go first, I don't even know if it would be that. Anyway, Malik didn't do shit there, so I'm pretty sure that's just a 58 in the future where you just DRBS have 2-man and it's stretched, so they just do fucking nothing. Great Mothers, I think, could also 58 that matchup. I haven't tried it, but like you doom Trench, the man has 0 health to begin with, and then it gets shredded on top. Like, you have Bless on Morgan, so they can't like stun loop you. How the fuck do you lose that? I don't. That just sounds free. Let's talk about Dark Ray. For whatever reason, people have convinced themselves that Crew Dark Ray is good.
Just shut up.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
And then they take like a fucking 51 for SLK versus Hondo. Like, but I don't. Guys, the Pirates do a lot of debuffs. They do a lot of debuffs. You know what Dark Ray does? When you get debuffed, she makes you not die. Why are you throwing away 6 banners on one fight?
Mechanically speaking, though, she removes turn meter, which stacks your offense, which stacks your health and protection. Right?
Yeah, that's the not die button. That's the I would like all my banners now today, please thing.
Fair.
That is the doesn't kill me Tass button.
That's fair.
Look,
by the way,
I brought.
Sorry.
No, I'm trying to rapid fire through other things. So if you got anything to say, just.
Oh, I was just gonna say thanks again to Pills here with another 2K biddies. He says Sasha is awesome. One of the guildies I miss, along with Tass and TJ, and at times Dagger. That's fair. At times is really
Bill's awesome.
Words
Good to hear
there.
from you, bud.
Crew Dark Ray is a solid 15th best defense team. I agree, man. I think all of my opponents should post it. I hope you continue to post it.
No. If you need to post a team, I wouldn't. I would call Trench, and I'll die on this hill of Trench is okay to be on defense.
I agree. I hope you post it. I hope everyone continues.
When you're out of choices, I will stand on this. I can be the only guy, and that's fine. I don't mind being on. I didn't call it good. I just said it's a team that you can post on defense. But the Crew Dre dies to so many things.
It is worse than Trench. Or sorry, Trench is worse. I will give it that. It is better than Trench.
Well, yeah,
but
see,
if you're gonna post,
sorry,
if you're gonna post Crew lead, take Dre out. It's still bad, but at least it doesn't give Bale and Max banners and possibly let him undersize you.
You can still just undersize that Crew Dre. That Crew team still gets undersized by anything you want to do.
But to Fatal's point, saving Dre is something I started doing because of Hondo.
Oh no, I agree. I agree with the statement. That's why I can't disconnect it.
Self a disservice.
You are 100%. You are 100%. Yes, because the Huxing is cool and novel. Yeah.
I do agree with Herf. I think it is probably one of the 15 better teams you can set on defense if you were to set it. But I think the reason you don't set it is not because it's not good. I think Fatal's right that it's not great.
Too costly to set. Yeah.
Correct. But I think setting Dre hurts you too much versus some Hondo comps.
Right. That's what
if you think it's one of the 15 best teams you can set Seek God.
It's
I didn't set it because I don't believe it is, but I also didn't set Trench because I don't think it's good.
All right.
But I understand that there's a lot of people who unironically will watch the balls for that team and place it.
Trash watch. Zori. Malgus solo seems decently comfortable there, although I heard a report that Finn has infinitely stacking health, and so apparently that creates some amount of threat, especially if we're talking like possibly get like to R8, R9, OG Finn. So I'm thinking maybe we just don't go for the 59, and maybe we just Malgus Malik 58 and see if that's anything, because I assume that would also be not too bad to go for full banners on, and Malik Drain, of course, would solve for the stacking health issue. Mace. Everyone seems to post Mace. Saw Luthen 2-man for 58. For people who don't know, the decoy, I now call him Drogon. He is my Drogon. When you build Luthen for crit damage, that all gets inherited over to the decoy. The decoy has over 100% crit chance base. Turn 1, I have Luthen do first special. Pass turn to decoy with bonus offense. Decoy presses second special. Decoy does 600k damage. That's pretty cool. I think blowing people up is fun. He's Drogon.
Nice. Really nice.
KB Joe. Fucking CG's policy is that upgrading your characters is always a good thing, but I'm pretty sure I lost this week solely on the back of R9ing Treya Savage. The support extra bulk stats caused my Savage to get handcuffs, and that shit fucking sucked. But then next match, I think against RMC, I used Queen Amidala 2-man, picked up a 58. It was a little bit spicy. I will give it in fairness. But yeah, no, cutting POW, I think in a lot of the time in a lot of the places, QA is a very proficient 2-man squad.
Believe
Bad
that.
Batch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Becam
Fair
Paz,
enough.
58 banners. Tarkin, Wampa, 59 banners. Tarkin, Balin Merrick, 58 banners. Maz, JML JCal, 58 banners. I feel a little bit bad putting Maz on the trash watch list. She's not really trash, but I mean, well, maybe she is after today.
I'm sorry, what did you say that you killed her with?
JML JCal 2-man for 58 banners.
You filthy efficiency player, Fatal.
I believe.
Efficiency and cheese are not the same things.
Uh-huh.
This is,
Oh, wow. Oh,
this is the new age shit.
Ooh,
Damn, Fatal's out here just
that's
calling us
the
all
hot
dog shit
right
at this
there.
video game. Are we all gonna take this?
I was dog shit, and that's why I was losing the cheese. I'm trying to get better. We will see what
I
happens.
did watch you disrespectfully 2096 somebody for 2080.
Yeah, that was an amazing match to see. Quite an achievement. Yeah, Pills, no, I got you. First of all, thanks for yet another 2K bid. He says Dagger reporting me for bullying proves he's a delicate princess. And then Dagger timed him out for 60 seconds because Dagger's a grown man.
Ultra delicate princess. It was fine. It was factual. You're
I love you, Pills. You don't see me, but I just blew you a kiss.
All right. Well, Fatal, anything else? Because you had quite a few observations, despite it being Cheese Watch.
I was just trying to rapid fire off some shit. Defense, I don't really give a fuck about. If anyone dropped it, it was probably just a skill issue.
Fair. Yes. Would imagine. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and move into the next segment. I would say season in review is what we usually do here in week 3. So overall thoughts, all 3 weeks combined. For me, the biggest distinction about this season was how the floor of the fleet meta went up, right? It wasn't all that long ago that we were striving to get up to 75, and we were looking to have nothing less than, 70, 71, 72, something like that. Now we're talking 75 is damn near the floor, and we're pushing up above. It's a question of how many fleets are you able to 77 against the opponent, not whether or not it's possible at all. So for me, that was the biggest difference as far as how this stood out versus last 3 versus 3. And fleet wasn't always permanent. But there were a couple times, including today, this final match versus Sasha, where it made all the difference. Granted, it was, I think in my case, it was just an incredible. I don't know if it's bad luck or just something that was just gonna happen because of the way things lined up. But yeah, it mattered. Aside from that, yeah, I think Dagger was saying this earlier. I think it was in the text, but I can agree with the statement that the best teams that I put down, as far as top end compositions, I had a couple holds with like Ray Swallow Ezra, something like that. Otherwise, it was teams that were towards the weaker end of what I'd placed that actually ended up overperforming more often than not, including teams that I yoinked, like, Ithano, Hondo, Nest, straight from Sasha. I made a productive use of that one. Yeah, I had a good time, and overall, really grateful to say only 2 Erodiums all season. So happy to have that. All right, Pills. Let's see here. Wow, Pills dropped another 2K. Dagger Coach changed your tampon, and that earned him another timeout. Yeah, that meets expectations.
No, the timeout came from me saying, I do it this way so you send more bits, and his response was, I do it for tasks, and that earned him the 10-second timeout.
Wow, fair. Link drops 1K biddies and say, I do not speak for my guild, but with 3 VDO members, I'm launching a personal war on all of plotting and scheming, all of VDO, against which I'm 1-0, and all players in this game. All right, Link's taking on all comers. Let's see what he can do. And wow, Pills drops another 2K bid. He says, Dagger, you're the Heinze of life. It's horrific. Terrific to put on Heinze, really.
Yeah, I don't know if that's more disrespectful to me or to Heinze. Heinze's living his best life.
Yes. Doofiend, appreciate you, man. That's 200 biddies from Doofiend, and that just kicked off a hype train, guys.
Boyos. You know what that means.
That is our very first live stream of Plotting and Scheming, our very first live stream hype train. Thank you, guys. Go. Oh man, Link, I'm gonna hand you your ass when we eventually link up against each other, says Saldag. I like that. That's I like to see the patrons want to square up. It's healthy competition. Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you. I'm sorry. Go ahead there.
I was just saying, huge fan of the competitive banter in the chat. That's all.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
Galaxy Heroes could always get a little bit more spicy, I think.
Yes, yeah. There's
healthy spice.
There's room. There's room for good rivalries. I really think there is. Let's hear from the room, though. I mean, any who wants to step up first to give your thoughts about the season in review.
I really like how, and some of the teams that Fatal mentioned, I did set a fair amount this season. I set Mace with handcuffs guy, and I set Zori a fair amount, but I did want to make sure that I set a certain floor of defense to a degree. So that was like no Tuskens, no Tarkin, no Trench, no Crew. I did try to, and I felt very rewarded as well, because when I was looking through my opponents the first 2 weeks, I was looking through my opponents' attacks. It did really feel like they were kind of running out of gas towards the end. Like they were getting like 53s and like some 54s and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I could set as much as Fatal. I'm not. He's definitely had more practice with that style of play, and maybe one day I'll get to the heavy defense. But I do like having a healthy floor, because I do feel like there are too many people that are going to give you free 57 to 59s, where you don't actually have to save 15 teams for offense. You can save 11 teams and be fine, because DTMG is going to auto their trench because they shouldn't have said it. And like Fatal said, like, I can just Malgus your Zori, like solo it. So I don't know. I really liked the balance this season, where I felt rewarded for setting a reasonable defense, and I felt rewarded for having a reasonable attack plan. I didn't have to scout much, because I've said this before. Once I figured out what my plan was, my goal was then to execute my plan and improve the efficiency and efficacy of my plan as the season went. And it ultimately led me to 8-1. So I'm really happy with where my season ended up, and I hope that the rest of you had similar experiences.
Yeah, it's really just the process of, I mean, more or less what you said, but opposite is like, if you're wanting to slip heavier and heavier, it's just a matter of practice and like figuring shit out over time and firing ranging shots, and you're gonna make mistakes sometimes. And yeah, it's the same shit as what I'm doing with offense right now. I'm gonna make some mistakes as I'm like trying to limit test and figure out like where the lines of the sand are. But I mean, I think you come in on the other end doing some shit that other people just cannot contend with unless they start to adapt themselves. So like, yeah, I always feel like it's worthwhile right now. Like this feels like a new era of the game for me, where it's like Galaxy of Heroes is actually like kind of becoming skill based in a weird way. Like there was always skill involved, but it was just very loose before, and now this feels like very precise, and that's been interesting and fun.
I'm gonna go with two observations that I see. One, I'd be scared to see if we got 2 more weeks with Fatal, seeing what he can do. What he practices, other people push. That would be my first. That's my first hot take of seeing how far it can go. I agree with Fatal's statement on the skill base and tightening it up, because watching now into the point that Malgus is soloing things and against the Datacron of what it would be is a scary observation. Overall, season good. You can't hate on the season. I think it went very well. And again, I went 8-1. I do things my way. I've never changed that. I will continue to scout and do my stuff, because that's how I play the game, and I enjoy doing that. But I do agree, the limits can get pushed further. I think it will continue to next season, especially because we'll have Darkside Bulk. We have some other things that allow these teams to do such. The other piece that I'll go with is how I don't know how far this reaches, and I think that's the biggest piece. Also, Fatal said something that stuck out to me, and it stands true. If you're wanting to go to bat with somebody and they're going to equal you out, I almost felt punished for going first and giving my opponent a heads up strategy to know what he had to score, and then going and being able to do some more of the Endermans. Again, that's not taking it away. That's the game you play. You have the strategy up. I just remember, Fatal, you talking about it. I don't want to go before you because I don't want to give you the edge. You know how I'm going to set. You know how I'm going to go. And then you, Fatal, have adjusted your game to say, go ahead. You can sit there and do that. Are you willing to go and play what I'm playing? Are you willing to go do the Enderman? Are you willing to go solo? Are you willing to, and that's pushing the threshold. But now it's like you're coming to a game of, I thought I did good. And then lo and behold, I'm down 3 banners walking in. That's nothing against the opponent. He did. I'm not saying he purposely waited. I'm not a streamer, but it did feel to a point where it's like, oh man, how much do I go or how much do I not go? And it kind of comes to the strategy of, are you willing to play this game if you're going to set like you're setting? Those are the observations.
I gotta tell you, I think attacking first with this game plan is incredibly effective, and actually, like, it's an invisible boost to your defense.
I'm telling you what, Fatal, I would call you at the forefront of fuck when I go, because are you willing? And I'll even show you. You're basically drawing a line in the sand. I will show you. And I know what is funny is I think someone talked about you not setting heavy or setting light. Like, motherfucker, I set AGLs.
I'm gonna get
the
in
call
trouble.
out.
Oh, sorry.
I know. So, but it's like, but what Fatal did, I honestly believe you are at the forefront of where you're at.
Mo Pills has a message for you.
Yeah, I have
This is the
have
first
2
time
messages
TJ
from
doesn't want
Pills to
to edge
catch
an
up
opponent.
on. Let me read them out. The first one was, this has been enlightening since Dagger Mage is the king of putting guys in handcuffs. Timeout incoming. And then, I don't know, I don't see that he actually timed out, so Dagger didn't take the bait there. And then later here, Pills dropped yet another 2K biddies and says, yeah, this is the first time TJ doesn't want to edge an opponent.
That's right. But I just, like I said, it's
a latent homosexual discussion coming from Pills. He should see a therapist.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, also,
someone on the internet, someone on the internet
aside,
making mad.
Thanks for the boost up to the level 5 hype train, guys. Really appreciate. Thank you, Pills. Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to finalize the thing that I think what Fatal did. I would be scared of him saying, "I decided to play the game this week," and I'm just telling you what you saw. To me, was taking impact, because in my matches of where I'm at and doing it, I felt like I got hindered for going first, thinking I was good. And then I'm having to go back and look and start looking at where I did. Like, I did Tuscans on Zori and I got a 56. My guy comes in and does a 58, meaning he didn't fully fatal it, but he still outdid it. So the undermans were there. So this is honestly where I think Fatal is right. And at the top, it'll be, I'm going to play your game, and then are you willing to go to my level?
Fair.
I will also point out, if you are not willing to go to my level, stop posting dog shit teams. You have an out. You have such an easy out. I cannot state enough.
And I don't feel like I posted what I considered like dog shit teams. But I also want to say, though, to be fair to this, the Rolocron with the Ezra, if you're doing something like that, can still catch you. And I know Sasha called out that he was able to do the Leias. Those are the ones where I'm the most afraid of. But having Pirate King in front.
It was really rough week 3, putting the Ray Ezra on defense, to not have my Ray, to just completely trivialize and skull fuck my opponent's Ray.
And as a matter of fact, I took that strategy on one of them where I swapped it up and kept my Ray for exactly that reason, because we were talking with Dagger. So it's just a comment of where you're going and what you're doing. But again, it's just a shout out to Fatal. Fatal, you put a new game on the map, in my opinion, that is now transcending into others. And I honestly expect we'll be doing this next season, regardless of what the new Datacrunch set is going to be.
Appreciate the Pills. Appreciate the 10 gift subs, Pills. pushing the hype train up yet again to level 6 now. On to you, Fatal. Sorry.
No, I'm very curious to see where things are at in 6 months. Like, I definitely think there's just going to be a transition period, and I'm like, as much as I want to talk about rank repair right now, I just don't think that's the phase that I'm in. I think this is the like research, study, figure shit out phase, and then like once it's locked in, then the rank repair will just come naturally. But yeah, I'd be very curious to see where stuff is at in 6 months.
So the only thing I want to say is if we're saying 6 months, and I want to make sure that Sasha gets a point to it too, is how this plays into the Relic Delta. If I would expect 6 months is there, are we still actually getting to play this game with Relic Delta intact? I know you're contested, Fatal, and I know you have a better idea of it, but I just want to make sure we're looking at that as well.
Playing the efficiency game or playing Galaxy here?
No, playing your game. You're doing things that are not a common feature, are actually becoming a trend of where it's at. That's what I'm saying. So with Relic Delta and everything you've seen with it, are we actually going to be doing, like, I'm going to do a solo Malagus again because I'm here and the floor is being raised with the relics that are being applied?
I'm just going to tend to assume that my opponents have all R9 everything until proven otherwise. That, like, I mean, maybe it creates some early investment choices where if you're just like, but the thing you have to keep in mind is that like Relic Delta 1 to 2 just doesn't really push the needle that far.
Right.
2, maybe in some spots, but like it's really not that impactful of a system at like small scale. So like if we're talking perfect, easy example. Last 5v5 season, Jedi Vanguard, Krons, Sith Eternal Emperor, Rees are fucking thin margins. I've got like a 390% defense Kron and defense mods on the man just to like tank through the 40% defense to offense plus crit damage stats. Would like an R10 Sith Eternal with 5% Relic Delta be nice to have there? Yeah, that could be like the margins were just so fucking razor thin that like, yeah, maybe that's an out there. But like, you know, if you run into a Finn team where like, yeah, it's just a good OG Finn, maybe it's an R9 OG Finn, built for health, you're not going to R10 your Malgus to unfuck that matchup. It like,
right,
you know, that it's just going to happen to you regardless. That you need a mechanical solve, right? The mechanical solutions don't really start to fade until like Relic Delta 4. And even that is not always necessarily true. It just depends on the mechanics involved. So my playstyle I think would be broadly unaffected. The only thing is like, I don't know, I'll probably have to do an audit at some point and be like, okay, you know, like my OG Bow or BSF or plenty of characters like that are probably lagging behind. I'm like, but then again, like, you know, DR BSF, if I do that shit against Trench, they don't get to play. So it, like, fucking who cares what my BSF is at? But you know, it's all due diligence. It's all just a question of what things look like, what it releases. But yeah, I don't think anything really changes for me. Aside from the fucking fact that my Trey and talent should still be relic, or Trey and Savage should have stayed a relicate because that is a goddamn nightmare. I cannot tell you how bad it feels to watch Savage do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that he got shackled with his unique that gives him that extra 50% health. That's
it's because of I think support R9, you know, gets the 4,000 extra bulk stats compared to attacker, and Savage's attacker. It's probably fixable in mods. Like it is technically an issue that it was on me. It was just a crazy fucking jump scare.
Yeah, it's not what you expect to look up and see.
Yeah.
So I was going to kind of comment on a slightly different dimension of the game, or slightly different perspective on it, and that it's a positive one. I actually was thinking about the impact of the new pirate faction, and I felt this season it played out really pretty nicely, and it's in a repeatable kind of and some sustainable framework and like a repeatable approach. In that, I think it's a faction that came on pretty quickly, had relevance across up to, like, we saw, you know, 3 squads pretty comfortably in 3s, really propped up by special datacrons for that faction. And so, like, it's funny when you think 6 months down the line, they won't always get it. I'm not saying this is perfect, but I think they got that faction pretty right in terms of impact, but not like really throwing the game off balance. I'll come to sort of one slight downside that I felt from it, but like overall, like what I would expect is like 6 months from now, there will be some other totally new faction propped up by Datacrons with probably one lasting squad that comes out of it. Like in this case, it would be the GL squad. Maybe Maz has a home longer term too, but so I thought they did that pretty well, and I was pleased with it. The one kind of touch of gray in that silver lining though of the change and having to level them all up was the anti-Sith element. We talked about it, but with Maz's kit, it just makes it really rough to come up with viable defenses. Like that I did see Tass on going back and looking at your stream with me, and that like you read it right, and that it's like if somebody's going to set one Sith, they're probably setting four, because how else do you kind of minimize the Maz impact and
100%.
right, Dagger. So like that kind
Yeah.
of that's a little bit of a bummer because I like having a bigger viable defensive toolbox. And just a little bit of a constraint there. But like overall, I really liked the pirate faction. So that was kind of the cool thing for this season for me.
Yeah, I mean, get ready for Malgus and Treya front walls with C and Lord Vader back walls.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And by the way, that C team of yours, I was able to use Wampa with Wampacron to beat it, but
Damn
I
it.
won't have that next time.
Yeah, you remembered that it makes him immune to stun.
Yeah.
Most people don't remember that.
Well, I wasn't immediately remembering it. Somebody told me in the chat, but I was planning actually to read the Cron again, and I would have seen
Repeated.
that, I want to believe. So you would hope. Anyway. Yeah. No, I appreciate that, Sasha. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, man, that's it.
All right. That wraps up the season in review. Let's go ahead and take some questions here from the chat. So Dagger's been curating these questions as they've been coming in. Where do you want to start, Dagger?
Well, Darth Link asks, what do I do with what do I do with my queen now that I have Jawacron only?
She doesn't need that. So Queen is one of the most you heard Sasha say he was able to find a place, and in my opinion, they're okay on defense. But I think the far use outweighs because of what they get to kill. There's so many places Queen kills it. That's like
And
it's still on
and then the
offense.
follow-up is, without the Jawacron, is it offense or defense?
It's, to me, in my opinion, depending on where you're at, again, not speaking for everybody else, they are a homegrown staple on offense because they can take out 99% of your problems. Queen can solve for you.
And I will say my only hold all season with Queen was when I did put Jawa Prom with it. So if you aren't going to do that, I could see a case for why you would want offense. Nothing else made a serious dent.
I would say my answer to that would simply be I want to see the Focus Datacrons and Datacron set that's coming out next before I make any real opinion. But I will say that I feel very comfortable putting the Jawacron with Queen, since seeing as I also put the Rolocron with Saw, so I didn't use either one of them on offense. So I feel fairly comfortable not having access to it on offense.
All right, what's the next one, Dagger?
Okay.
Serve it up.
Question: has anyone figured out any especially spicy modding projects to work on before fives? I don't know how much we want to get into this, considering I think most of us haven't even switched our brains to 5v5 mode. I don't have a good answer here, so I'll pass it to the rest of you guys.
Probably better to pull for the in between, just because as we're getting closer to the
I think
setup
folks
for it,
will
it's kind of
accept.
tough.
I think folks will accept that the quality of answer that they're going to get right here on the spot is what it's going to be, not what they'll get, by the time they see the preview episode, and we'll have had a week to kind of stew on it. But looking at that, I actually wanted to just continue along, in accordance with my defense mod farm, continue to move characters, key characters into more defense sets. Like Sith Eternal, like Emperor Palpatine. Al actually finally got into a 4-piece. Yay! Closing in on 80%.
About goddamn time.
Or sorry, a
I could
6-piece,
tell you
rather.
one. We talked about it, Tess. I'll give you one that you even talked about.
Sure. What you got?
Little Omega. I took her to R7. I'm following in the fatal footsteps because we'll be back to being able to. There, I don't see what you're going to do that the Bad Batch team, but you want Little Omega with the Rolocron to knock back Pirate King Hondo. I just, even with the setup of it, I still think that's going to be locked. Unless you're going to tell me something different, Fatal. But as we talked about it at the end of 5s, I had a Relic 5, so she's a 7 now. She'll be 8 and ready to rock by the time we start 5s. That is my one project that I'm locking myself in on.
Fair. Any other mod projects you guys are thinking on? You want to mention here and now?
For the dopamine heads, Hot Utils now has % defense in the mod stats.
Does it really?
It
Yep.
is pretty cool. Yeah, it's on your standard poll now when you do a
Oh.
compare. I noticed it round 2 of this week.
Oh, that's awesome.
I went through 6 to 12 months of motherfuckers saying shit like, yeah, sorry, I just wasn't able to, I just haven't been able to farm that much defense. Check the camera roll, 25 speed set, 25 speed set, 6% offense roll, 6% offense roll, 6% offense roll. I was like, all right, man, look, I can't fix you, but I can go to the dopamine source and unfuck you that way. So congratulations, you're all now allowed to farm defense sets. Proceed to posting funny screenshots.
All right. No other takers? If not, next question.
Okay, from TNL_101. Hi, how's it going?
I think I answered him in chat. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying to everyone. Hi, how's it going? How's everybody's night doing so far?
Hi.
We enjoying this?
Yeah, it's late. I am tired, but I'm not actually passing out on the keyboard, so we're not dead yet. I'm having a good time with all of you.
We enjoying doing this live? I'm enjoying doing this live.
I think this one's pretty fun to do live because talking about the season, wrapping it up just as the season ended, I think is the most useful it's going to be for us doing it and you guys watching it. You could always go watch this coming back around to the next 3 vs 3 if you wanted, but as far as bringing all the information together, I think closest to when you were last fighting is probably best. So I'm enjoying this.
What about the rest of y'all? How are you enjoying doing this live?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a cool change.
I think doing the round 3 is a pretty good one to want to do on a
Yeah.
consecutive basis live. I think getting questions and things like that, because you can start preemptively looking if you're not brain dead from the 3rd week. I really like the idea of doing it like this.
Dig it. All right. Yeah. Fatal, how you
Yeah.
feeling?
If you watch this episode coming up on the next 3v3 season, I will find you. Strictly forbidden.
Make it sound like it's a bad idea to watch our show to gain actionable intelligence for Grand Arena, Fatal.
Strictly forbidden.
We can't edit out all the actual information he tells us this way if we're doing it live. Asher NZ asks, is Nest Zeta kind of crucial and needed at high relic? Sorry, the thing's cutting out. High relics? I've never really used her. My answer would be the Zeta is crucial if you plan to use her. Is she needed at high relics? I'm not sure. She has a huge place in the game for most people in GAC. But I think she's worth it with the pirate faction the way it is.
Yeah, in and of herself, the Zeta is essential. How soon you place that Zeta relative to anything else, different conversation. Like if you're going to actually use her in Grand Arena, yes, Zeta's required. As far as how many relics to throw on, that should probably just have parity with whoever it is you're fighting. If you're mostly fighting folks that are between Relic 5, Relic 7, be in Relic 5, Relic 7, and I think you'll be okay. You only really need to be up super high when you're fighting people that are super high and you're talking about potentially one-shotting your lower Relic nest with just an enormous burst of damage because I've got a Relic 9 character. I don't know if any of you have anything else to add on that.
I just think it's accurate, but the only thing I want to call out when you're primarily looking at it, when we start talking about pirates, and I'm looking at like the Maj's team, generally when you're going to say who's the fifth because of where it's going to split, is going to be usually Hondo or it's Nest. So in order of priority there, depending on how big you're trying to expand your market of looking at the pirates, that's how I would start taking it. But in order of priority, she's how big's your team? I guess is the simplest question. Because she'll have her time when there's usually a Datacron that'll come out annually. That'll be a Nestcron, and then she's going to be a monster, and then that's going to expand the pirate team, or we're going to expand it with the Merc team. I think it sits like that.
Fair. All right. What's the next one? There.
Asher NZ asks another question. Do you think it would be better if they hid the scores? Because whoever goes second definitely has the advantage.
Fog
I
of
think,
War.
I think for me personally, I think whoever goes second does have an advantage, but I think the advantage is a lot less than a lot of people think, because I think a lot of people change their mindset and the way they play based on how their opponent scores. When the truth is, someone like me is not going to change the way I play based on the way my opponent scores. I'm not going to be that much safer or that much more aggressive based on what my opponent does. I'm going to try to beat them playing the way that I am most comfortable and efficient playing.
Yeah.
I'll leave it to you guys.
I'm going to make it simple. Yes, I think it would be nice hiding the scores. That's my own personal preference because I tend to try to go first right when the thing opens or close to it. And it would be nice you not being able. It doesn't have to be the entire score. Entire score means fine. I can do fleet and everything else. But at least just ground game. Because I think that's a pivotal setup. It'd be nice just hide the ground and then whatever's left, because then it doesn't matter whatever's going to be.
That's an
My
interesting
personal
compromise on the idea. Like, first of all, I agree. Guys, so far, Fog of War I think is fine. I also agree with the idea that even though there is an advantage to be gained in going second, on a match to match basis, you can argue how much that actually matters. But I would
or whether
say,
it's even the case.
yeah. But I would say that for anybody that says, okay, fine, even if it isn't always an advantage every match, for the matches where it does end up proving to be an advantage, does that feel fair? It's like, okay, you know what? I can see you on that, and I'd be all right with Fog of War. If they ended up putting that in, I would adapt. A lot of us have just adapted too. It's like, look, one of us is going to go first. Some days it's me going first. Some days it's me going second, and whatever. We kind of have it all adjusted to that. Fog of War would free us up a little bit. But yes, as far as like that compromise idea that TJ just suggested, maybe not you have zero visibility of your opponent's score until the end of the round, but rather you just get to see their final score if and when they fully clear you. And then you don't get to know the distinction between the fleet banners and the squad banners. I think that's not unreasonable. Let's say the rest
two
of you.
different ideas really quick. Number one, you can assign a point value to a zone, and you can reveal how many points they got in an individual zone. Something I think would be really cool is if they showed you all the drops and everything. Like you could see if your opponent one-shot it, if they two-shot it, if they 23-shot it, but no final score. So you would know if you had a hold, you just wouldn't know what your leeway is.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
know,
also,
like
like,
not
some
less
kind of
than
middle
20 here, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be another good way. I think that there are lots of ways to do it in a way that doesn't. I don't care if they implement Fog of War or not. It won't change the way I play or what I do personally, and I go first a fair amount anyways. So it won't change anything for me. But I think that there are some interesting ways to implement it to where you can make it not a flat Fog of War.
Okay. Yeah. No, I actually hadn't really put any thought before into different styles of Fog of War for this. So I kind of like that. Kind of fun. Any other thoughts on this topic? Otherwise, next question.
I just lost it. If CG gave us mats for 1 tune to take to R10 and you had to use them before they announce what stat increases are, which one character would you choose, Ezra?
I still, I like I say this now until Dagger made the perfect
Yeah,
point.
which Ezra would you choose?
It's not even that. I laughed because he says that, and then I was automatically on Ezra, right? I've always stayed there, and then we see the stranger, and I'm like, oh, Dagger was right. I would love,
It's whatever the newest Conquest character is.
and that's what he said. But without that data or input, I would honestly say Ezra. You can curse anything you want. The one person who remains, like in all things, you fight a team, it's a team. You fight Ezra with the team, you're fighting Ezra. So I in just any world you go and major evasion continues to stack, I don't know how Ezra is not the right answer. He is the most heinous character that they have come to in a long time.
Fair. For me, I was saying this question's come up a couple times recently. I said Lord Vader last week, something like that. I would say depends on what the stats are, but like the question was said, not knowing. I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be a huge chunk of survivability. I don't know if Lord Vader needs more bulk for me. I guess in a world where BKM Rolo exists, and that could still threaten. But now with Maz
In a
in the
world where
game,
Maz exists.
sorry.
In a world where Maz Kanata exists.
Yeah, exactly. Now that Maz is there, I don't think you can really bulk your way around that. So I was thinking about how Slacker might really want it because it isn't really until Pirate King and his tank, his trusty tank Quiggled, slapping my shit that I felt maybe this 160,000 health Slacker is not enough. Um,
I think that was because you didn't use Dre, though. I think if you use Dre there, it's a comfortable win. So I think that was
I hear that. I hear that. And I'm not saying I plan to do it that way with Hux in the future, but I want to say that's literally the first time in years where I was like, huh, it was Slacker that let me down there.
I hate to tell you, I looked at the data for us task, going back on it.
Mhm.
SLK, Dre, and Crew, 57, 3 times seed. So it's like you put in the people who don't give a shit, and then you just lock them down with their own sticky tank, and then all of a sudden, and they weren't using anything special. They were just using a
it's
first
not
order
even
set.
having FOSF there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like it's true, but we lived in a world where it's like we didn't have a lot of data to support how good the team was. Because again, I faced it, but I understand your point on the SLKR. But then you have Crew who doesn't give a shit about what you're doing to him. So you have your own tank.
Oh, I hear that. Well, while you're talking here, what would your Relic 10 be?
Mine remains Ezra. I don't
It is
care.
Ezra. Okay, Dagger was Ezra. That's fine.
I'm gonna
if
ask
you
you this.
place it right now, it's Ezra.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
All right, we got you. Fatal, how about you?
Sorry, could you repeat that last?
Yeah, if you had to do it, just completely blind, not knowing what it would give you right now, what would be the Relic 10 you'd put on? You can assume it'll give you some bulk, you'll assume you'll get some mastery, but that being known, who would you throw it on right now?
I am going to assume it's just another R9. Fuck, I actually had a miniature dock. I'm just gonna ignore the cop out answers. Let's see.
Sure. The chat
R10
wants you to
shopping
say
list. Here we
Marin.
go. Okay, unironically, Marin is actually probably the best possible investment for Relic 10. Like, just straight up mechanically. I mean, Qui-Gon, JML's a cop-out answer. Vape King Hondo, I don't even think necessarily matters at this point. Yeah, Luthen, Queen Amidala, potentially just for the decoy. C, just for... I mean, C, I think will be under a lot less pressure than when I originally wrote this list, because at the time, C was, like, fighting for his goddamn life for 59s.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in that ballpark. Master Qui-Gon, I think, would be extremely fun R10, but yeah, Marin is the, like... If you are just looking for a straight win rate improvement, that is a pretty good thing to be doing.
Tough. Sasha, Sasha's still with us here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'll tell you. So all the good answers have been taken, but I'll
good.
tell you, my it would just be kind of a ridiculous joke. Would be a hell of a lot of fun. I would throw it on Ninth Cistern for the next month. She would basic for $500,000.
Oh my God. Terrific. Yeah, that was the spirit of the question.
That's
Was right
actually
now.
good.
That was the spirit of the question. That's fair. Okay, that's a good one. Dagger, next question. We're going to handle a few more of these guys, then we're going to do the takeaways
we
and
have
final
like 3 more
thoughts and
questions
hit the
left.
bricks.
Yeah, we have like 3 more questions left.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll field a few more questions and get ready to
This
enter
one's
the
real
next
easy.
segment.
Will we see more live PNS?
This is the first we did it. I kind of had
Yeah, it's
the
a lifestyle
idea.
choice, really, for whoever. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Sorry?
Only when you're looking through the bathroom window and then you send a
Don't-
text saying
yeah.
thank you.
Don't worry, next time we'll be proper cam boys.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Because I don't want to put any stress on you guys. Sometimes it's not easy for everybody to be on camera. But what I do like the idea of is, well, first of all, I came up with this idea to do this live like this afternoon. Kind of ran it by Dagger on Dagger's stream earlier. He was warm to it, and then I just sprung it on everybody else later this evening. And here we all are, and we're all having a good time with it, and it kind of makes sense. It's kind of a natural fit here for the end of the season. A couple of you in the chat already acknowledged that. So will we see more of this? There's a good chance. In particular for week 3 of the season. I think you might be able to look forward to more of that.
All right.
Next one. What you got?
Who's everyone got winning the World Series? I think the Dodgers probably do, but I really don't want them to win with their payroll. I want the Jays to win.
Rooting for the Jays.
So, well, one, Sasha, you're a traitor to your coast, sir. So I'm gonna go for Dodgers only because I'm from the West, baby.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna go for, I'm actually an Oakland fan, so it's like, well, for now. So I'll live on the West Coast. I'll die on the West Coast.
Whichever one's home stadium has cheaper beer.
Also, good cause.
Definitely not LA. So Toronto.
Right.
Definitely not LA.
All right, go Toronto. Go Toronto. I'm on the side of whatever the cheapest beer is, because if I'm at a baseball game live, I'm still gonna need to be drunk to get through it.
Yeah, Tass doesn't like baseball, and that's okay. We love him anyways.
It's a sport based on watching paint dry. I can't imagine. Yeah. All right. What do we got? Any other good questions, Dagger?
We had a couple others. No, we already answered that one.
Oh wait, did we get Fatal's pick for World Series?
No.
The Marlins is just a very funny sports history team, and so I was kind of following them, and they didn't. They lost in the most fucking Marlins way possible. I'm kind of like just ambivalent on the World Series, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe Toronto.
I think Saldog's got a good question if we want to do one. He gave one that just came up. How many teams would you guys feel is better or is ideal for Kyber at this point? Both 3v3 and 5v5. Improvements, we've already said it, but I think just going with the simple question based on time of how many teams do you think for 3s and 5s, I think is great. GAC, dude, we live and die saying the same shit.
If time is not a factor, I realistically believe 5v5 is 15 or 16 teams, and 3v3 should be 20 or 22 teams.
I was gonna say add, like 5 to 5 versus 5, and I don't know, 10. I'm just picking round numbers. You can tweak it if you wanted to be set, 5 of this and 7 of that. But add 10 to 3 versus 3, and we would still have teams left over. But there would definitely be, I think, in particular for us high GP players, a lot more interest and interaction with Relic Delta that comes live.
I'm cool with the 5. I think 15 is a great number for 5s. Seeing that, I mean, having that would set it up for 30 teams. So that would be great to see because that's a shitload of characters. And I think you're right on the 10.
3 more questions left, by the way.
Oh, okay. I still think you're good, man. 15 feels like it's the right number for fives. I feel like
And
that's correct.
22-ish sounds right for threes.
I think you're
I know
fine.
it's,
I like.
I know it's not a round number 7, but I mean,
I would say 25. And the only reason I say that, it would be nice to have, I think, 10 more than others, because then that still gives you a lot of teams to work with.
I will say like that Relic Delta with an expanded board is definitely one way to get the bigger spenders in the game to
Right.
put money into the fringes of their rosters, right? Like if you brought
Sure.
like,
if
oh
my
my
body's
God,
ready.
yeah, my resistance pilot really needs like I just remember maybe, but like you find somebody
Name
else.
drop. Name drop. Yeah, that was good.
Mm,
Yeah.
Bracket, here I come. My body's ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dagger's gonna come and crush.
Darthlink's right. My streams are going to be 5 hours in this theoretically expanded board universe. Yeah. All right. What's the next question here, Dagger? By the way,
Let's
guys,
finish
don't
up
let me
on Twitch,
steamroll you
and
if
there are
you have a comment. I'm just trying to
Sorry.
keep this moving.
Yeah, let Fatal go.
No, a board expansion would be cool for me, but like, to be honest, I would almost rather CG focuses on some sort of system to, right? Because Galaxy of Heroes is a continually expanding system. Like the content cadence is literally set in stone now at this point. That like we know how fast things are going to be getting at it, and it's pretty fast. I'm like, even a board expansion would stop being effective at some point. That
Yes.
Yeah.
for at least High Kyber 1, where the tip of the spear just has pretty much everything, and like maybe if it was warranted over time, then it could expand. But at least for High Kyber 1, I would like to see a system like rotation, so that Galaxy of Heroes can kind of scale with itself in its own period of growth over time, where like 5, 6-year-old characters become eligible for rotation type shit.
All right. Yeah.
Like,
So the
okay,
last-
for this month, no Jedi Revan.
That'd be cool.
I've heard
That's the TW shit that they were doing. I like
Alright,
that,
this
man.
is-
I
this
did
is
like
the
the idea.
last one on Twitch, and then I have 2 on YouTube, and then I'm not taking any more questions. Sorry, guys.
All right.
How
well,
much of an
yeah.
economy change do you guys think the vast majority of players would be happy with to stop crying about relic data? CG would have to bring everyone's roster up automatically to R7 minimum. Fucking goddamn children.
I'm just gonna make it simple for you. Let's wait and see before we make a judgment, because you're trying to say the floor. I know, but the answer to your question is a simple one. They've already made adjustments to the economy, where again, if I go back, you were paying 300 to 330 average per character, is now dropped 100 to 1 something. So they've dropped literally $200.
Read the
So
question again. How
Go
much of
ahead.
an economy change do you think the vast majority of players would be happy with to stop crying about Relic Delta?
they will never be happy. That's your
yeah.
answer.
Yeah. That's basically what I was saying.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Everyone's roster is now R7 minimum. Go. And they'll still complain. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just saying, like,
No, it's
I
fine.
agree. We all agree
It's
here. We all
you
agree.
cannot. We don't know what we're getting. We don't know any of this stuff. But the
Yeah.
honest answer will be: you're not talking about a person. You're saying people. People will never be satisfied, because there will always be one person in that people who will want more. But CG has continuously downgraded the cost of everything in game has come, and they have lowered the floor. That is the honest answer.
consider this. The pace at which you add relic 8s now, if your guild is max creating raid, and if you've been doing it for the last few raids, if you remember what it was like before then, it took much longer to come by enough aeromags to handle your 8s, your 9s. I feel like if what accruing aeromags is like now if that's how the change is, or when they implement these economy changes, if let's say that they want you, whatever you're doing at relic 5 now versus relic 9, let's say just theoretically that they mean for you to have the same feeling but now at relic 7 instead of 5.
Right.
If they bridge that gap with like they said, I think there's a new resource event coming. So between that, and then between just increased access to stuff, just a couple more materials and stuff that we're already doing, it'll feel a lot like that. So if they kind of usher you into bringing your 5s up to 7, and they do it at the kind of clip where you're adding them at least as fast, if not a bit faster, than you're adding relic 8s if you're max creating raid. I feel like that's a reasonable clip to bring your roster up, because it's not fast enough that it's instantaneously doing the whole thing. That's kind of unrealistic. However, it is giving it to you at a reasonable amount, and you still prioritize which teams need it the most. Yeah, that's what I see, what I hope for everybody. Others, what do you guys have to say? Anybody else?
I just don't think it's a economic issue. I think it's people just don't want the mechanics to be overridden too much. Right for the current tuning for like over 90% of matchups, it's not. It's just a question of like matchups at stake right now are like it's mainly Bo-Katan versus Lord Vader is like the big matchup at stake of like if you're like a Relic 7 Bo-Katan against like an R10 Lord Vader clone squad, you would basically just be shut out. And that to me is like maybe not great. Yeah, I don't think it's about winning. I think people just don't want the relic numbers to determine the outcome, and I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, good enough. Anything else, guys? Otherwise, Dagger, cue up the next one.
So this is just this one might not be something we can really answer, but I'll say this. I'll modify the question slightly. What is one team that is in for 5v5 that was out for 3v3? Is there a team that you're excited to use in 5v5 that you didn't get to use in 3v3 because of the way that the board is set up?
Not in particular, no.
Did you say like Bad Batch 2's relevance jumps? Like there's
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I was gonna say that and Maz, man. Full Maz. We have
Full
not
Maz
seen the
is gonna
power
be
of the
fun to
full.
see, I guess.
That's the one I'm
But
probably
that's
the
just
most
'cause
excited
it's
about.
new. I mean, yeah.
But that's what we're asking about. What's it's like we got to see where Maj and we called our weakest link from Fate. It could still be, but I would like to see how this looks when she has all of her things with her.
Yep. That would be mine too. I would be interested. I want to see what both pirate splits do now that we
Yeah.
have the crons and we have some data.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of flexibility with Hondo last season because we didn't have Maz. And now we have Maz. So Hondo still has some flexibility, but now you still need to make a full second.
Fair. Oh my god, Heratran saying adding 150 piece of what? Oh, shock prods? Never mind. Never mind. I misread. I thought we were talking about attenuators for a second. And I would love it.
Anything for you, Fatal? Sorry.
I don't know. 5v5 is just 3v3, but I get 2 extra points when I win battles.
I love you, Fatal. Don't ever change.
There's less space to use the same roster than 3 versus 3. How can it be more entertaining these days? That's the thing. It just is it's its own thing, and you get to have the full 5-man kit design of your dreams for whatever faction.
Well,
for all the fun that it can be.
Before we get to the last question, it is the bottom of the 13th. The Dodgers had a leadoff double, moved him to third with an out. So there's a runner on third with 1 out. They have 2 cracks to end this goddamn game. And the last question is, what is the most secretive budget counter now in GAC? I would say I would translate this to be what is a team or two that the average player isn't using that you are using to beat multiple teams that your opponent sets. For me, it would be DTMG and Iden.
Hold on, let me read that.
What is the most secretive budget counter right now in GAC? So I interpreted that to mean
secretive budget. So I mean, when I think of secretive budget, what I think is something that most people wouldn't know about, but it's actually like a serious punch up. For example, Fatal already mentioned on the Queen Master Qui-Gon 58, the NAS Jar Jar 58. I think a lot of folks don't have stuff like that on their radar. Let me say this against. Let me pull this up now that we're talking about it. Against Herbert, I want to say. So there was a part of the fight where I realized that to tie his score on ground, I'd have to get 57.5 or 0.25 over 4 fights. And then I went and got a 59 and then 3 58s. So yeah, that was just Treya Savage against a Trench, which I guess isn't terribly surprising. The mechanics are pretty overwhelming there. And then Bane said, glad I'm showing this because I just did this today for a 57 with the Darth Vader Cron.
They intentionally walked Otani, so 2 out, first and third, bottom of the 13th.
What part of that had to be said in the middle of my sentence?
I'm sorry.
Are you? So anyway, Bane with set got a 58 for me in this round and a 57 for me today. You're usually losing your second Sith. There's a lot of matchups for which it's desirable to lose your second Sith and get those cooldowns reset. But yeah, I was looking for underbands. What do you guys think?
Fatal, I think nailed one that is great. If you ever, people ever took the time to do it, the Bad Batch do way more than people give it credit for. And I want to steal his thunder on and stuff like that because I know Sam Marin, but he's been able to do great things. The new Bad Batch are phenomenal and do way more than I think they're given justice for.
Fair. All right, Dagger, any other baseball highlights before you chime in on the question?
Oh, I already answered the question. I said DTMG and Iden were both very good for me this 3v3. Being able to beat things like Trench, Maul Mandos, Mace, just relatively cheap was nice.
Sasha, Fatal, how about you guys? What do you say? Best budget counter that folks are thinking about, something you might be punching up or using as an underman. That's just not on people's radar.
This counter is so secret that nobody has played it yet. I don't know. Just from that one time that I fucked up a Queen Amidala versus Ray fight, I'm pretty sure that Queen Amidala can 2-man Ray in 5v5. But I'm not necessarily recommending anybody else try it.
Now you're sure you're not doing this with rose tinted glasses here, remembering the support cron.
Well, support cron doesn't boost Qui-Gon's damage.
No, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't. I'm just asking.
No, I mean, I was fighting against the Barris Cron where they had Barris flip too. So
Fair.
Those are high stakes situations. It's just man. It's Queen and Qui just doing their shit, and Padawan Obi-Wan largely typically just serves to make Qui-Gon do damage more often, and you don't necessarily always need that to happen. It's more so just you would be scared of are they running Barris plus Cal? I'm not necessarily recommending anyone to do it, but I have 60% confidence that it will work. Because if I could do it in a scenario where they had a Barris Cron with double offense and Barris had been activated and Queen had a 2v4 with Barris active, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sasha?
No, nothing. That throne that's worth it. The stuff that I would have touched is covered. You're good to go, Tess.
All right, fair enough. Well, guys, we'll have to cut off the questions there. Thank you for everybody who participated live. Again, for our first swing at this, really appreciate so many of you showing out to give us all these questions. Appreciate it. All right, guys, it's time for takeaways and final thoughts. We're at the end of the lifespan of set 23 for 3 versus 3. We have one more run here in the upcoming 5 versus 5 season, but you won't see Rolocron Wampacron, your product, your light side turn meter, all gone the way of the dodo bird. So big shifts around those, because certainly the focus datacrons from set 23 were a huge deal. And yeah, I value level 3s. Yeah, lots of thanks in the chat. Glad you guys enjoyed. Really, really appreciate you guys being here. But yeah, the fleet meta thing is what's interesting. And now with Forlom in the game, Zuckuss on the horizon, and presumably the Mist Hunter ship being what I would expect to be a second lifter, potentially, for Executor, that might hopefully rebalance a fleet meta that is, I don't know, in a pretty uninteresting place now that we're all scrabbling to see how close we can get to having 377 banner clears, right? That's we thought we didn't like it before, and this is something I frequently reflect on in my personal life. Is it's like, yes, it is bad today, but have you heard of the concept of worse? You know, that's it for me. I had a good time. Definitely one of my rougher seasons score wise, but like I said, I enjoyed playing those matches out, even the ones that I lost. Dagger, your takeaways and final thoughts.
Yeah. They had a runner on third with 1 out, and then bases loaded with 2 outs, and now we're in the top of the 14th because the Dodgers couldn't punch anybody home. That being said, Crunch still won't be good next season either, so don't place it.
Crunch hater.
I didn't. Okay, It's not good. People think it's good. It's not good. I concur with everything you said regarding fleet. We're just going to keep band-aiding the top 3 fleets. Here's hoping that the Leviathan actually gets a lifter, because just Profundity, Executor getting a lifter, Profundity getting a lifter, Executor getting a lifter, and all Executor got was an AI update. Or not an AI update, but like a unique an update to its like mechanics. It didn't get a new ship. I would at least like to see a new ship for the Sith if we're going to be doing that. But I know this was said a long time ago. Like, when I say a long time ago, I mean like a couple months ago. If we don't get a pirate fleet, I'm going to be disappointed. Like, what the fuck else are they for in this game?
That's fair.
We have a bounty hunter
literally
fleet
in Star Wars. How are you meaningfully a pirate without a ship? It's an extremely legitimate question. I have no issues.
Yeah, and that's all I mean is I really want to see a pirate fleet, and I want to see us have 4 fleets that are like meta, like all kind of like vying for it. But like Tass said, I expect this to get worse before it gets better, much like other things in my life. And yeah.
Appreciate you. DJ, how about you? Your takeaways and final thoughts.
Yeah, I think we talked about it pretty well. I really like what the season ended up being. Kind of scared if we had 2 more weeks, as I said before. But overall, I'm excited to see what we get to do. Darth Link made a good comment about the Jawacron, because the Jawacron will essentially become our new Rolocron for whatever it's going to be worth. So the stats and what it was doing good things. I think that'll continue. And who knows? Maybe we have Relic Delta by the time we see next 3s. So we'll see. There's going to be a lot to come, but I'm still excited. If we continue on this trend, I'm pretty excited with where we're going to end up. I think it's going to be a fun time. And how small of a team can we make to get a 58 or 59?
All right. Sasha, Aisha, your takeaways, final thoughts, last words for the folks at home.
Just a quick one about like size of board. This Pirate King Hondo was introduced during this 3 season, right? Just to clarify, right? It was during this 3s season.
No, I think he was in 5s, right?
Yeah, he was in 5, but we didn't have like all of the crons that we have.
Until
have everything.
We didn't
have
Maz.
Maz.
Season.
Okay.
We really didn't have a defined like the crons that we did in 3s.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking this was going to finally be our first point where we were within one squad, but I guess we've been there before, of being able to cover the entire board in GLs. Like just back to that point of rosters and sort of content of the game just growing beyond the playing board for GAC. Like I just am prepared to really feel that in fives because it actually felt better than I would have thought in threes with 15. Granted, we still need more teams. But I would, yeah, I actually, I feel good about the game. I don't, nothing else I'd really want to add. I just am kind of hoping to go a little bit, into hiatus for a week and come back feeling refreshed and reprogram my game for fives. But yeah, that's it, man.
All right. Appreciate that. Crap, I just realized something. Dagger, quickly, jumping back to you. You just a couple weeks ago restarted your Twitch channel. I know you're troubleshooting getting the simulcast for YouTube working, but let the folks know, do you have plans here during the off week? You going to be doing any streams? And if so, where can they find you?
You can speak for him. He actually hopped out.
Dagger
Son of
drop.
a bitch.
Yeah.
Dagger
Yep.
Mage 7, twitch.tv/Dagger Mage 7. I don't know what the YouTube is. I'd have to check, but that's not even the one that's working right now. Dagger Mage 7 on Twitch is the one. All right. That said, on over to Fatal. Your takeaways and final thoughts. We close out the season.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see where 3v3 goes. Just kind of looking ahead to 5v5 now, where I still think the strategy is like way, way, way more effective, but we will see what the lack of defense crons causes for certain strats. I don't think defense helped a bit.
Out. And of course, as the second of three now content creators on this show, where can the good folks find you, and will you be active here during the off week?
Twitch.tv/theplaybook, youtube.com/theplaybook. Yeah, I'm still planning to stream frequently, or 6 times a week, but I'm dealing with some health issues that timing absolutely sucked for when I wanted to start doing this. But yeah, hopefully as that gets wrestled under control. And also video on YouTube tomorrow. Not the big one that was April promised, but I think a lot of people potentially enjoyed all the same.
Okay, well, really looking forward to that. Thanks for the teaser. All right, well, of course, to the four of you gentlemen here on the call with me, appreciate you guys sticking it out for a late night episode. And thanks to all of you in the live audience again for joining us. It's a lot of fun. Of course, if you're watching this here live, then you already know I'm at twitch.tv/Tassenix. I also simulcast from my YouTube channel, Tassenix Gaming, where if you haven't been there before, check it out. There's a whole bunch of sword-related content over there that I think you'd be interested in. Stuff like the GAC Omicron tier list, the How to Mod Guide series. It's a rebroadcasting point for this very podcast, Plotting and Scheming, which is native to Spotify. But wherever you catch an episode, check the description. There's a link. Plug it into your preferred podcast program and follow us that way. Anything that you like over there on the YouTube, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Really appreciate your support, guys. That's the best thing you can do for me. Like, subscribe, the follow on YouTube, on Twitch, all that stuff. Just the very best. If you really like what I'm doing over here and you want to support the channel, you want to go above and beyond the Call of Duty, there are a few ways to do so. But yeah, let me drop all my links. First of all, this is the link to my Discord. You want to be in touch here, especially during the off season. That's the place to find me. I also here we go. Professional streamer stuff. Yeah, that's where you can catch me there. And yes, my YouTube. There's the link to that. And yeah, if you want to go above and beyond in supporting me, a few ways to do so. First off, there is a Cash App that is $Tassenix. I have a PayPal, which is tassenix@gmail.com. And if you're interested in getting some enhanced Grand Arena scouting power for yourself, early access to my content, including plotting and scheming, and some other benefits besides, you may be interested in joining my Patreon, patreon.com/Tassenix. For For any upperly mobile Grand Arena player, there's something there that's interesting. At $5 a month, you enter the Task House at the VIP access level, where you get early access to the Plotting and Scheming show. That is coming out to our general audience up until this very point on Friday mornings at 8 a.m. Patrons always get early access, except in, I guess for this, I think the week 3 wrap up episode is going to kind of be a freebie for everybody because, being that it's wrapping up the third week of 3 vs 3, the intelligence from it might be a bit stale by the time we come back to next 3v3, so the value is more limited and the discussion is more useful and interesting to all of us when we have it here and now. So I think with the exception of the week 3 video, patrons will have early access as early as Monday night, giving you at least one round of early intel ahead of the general audience. In addition to that, I will occasionally make a patron exclusive video that you guys have, at least a month ahead of everybody else. And of course, dedicated text and voice chat on Discord where I'm usually lurking. So pop on in and say hi. And I didn't actually roll, man. The exhaustion. Thank you so much to Andrew, Anja, Boba Isa, Deadpool Kyle 28, JJ's Productions Twitch, Jobin4527, Miasmal, Ross, Raise Malbus, Sam Vimes, Sheepdog47, Squed, Stark Strategy Gamer, Queens14, and White Wolf. Moving on up to the $10 a month tier is VIP Access Plus, where you get a bundled Patreon access to me and to your choice of either OmegaBot or Hot Utils Patreon. OmegaBot's that tool that I highlight at the start of all my Grand Arena streams, with those graphs giving you a sense of your opponent's offensive and defensive tendencies. Anybody can use that tool for free to scout their opponent's last week of Grand Arena history, but only patrons can build out a custom report with any number of weeks, get a downloadable HTML version of the report with links you can click, taking you right back into Swugga.gg or Insight, data pre-sorted, just helping you, minimize your scout time. Alternatively, you might go for the Hot Utils Patreon, aka Chili subscription, which is your #1 tool for mass mod management and loadout creation. Nothing lets you move so easily between your Grand Arena, TB, TW, and Raid mods. You can use it like TJ and Fatal do with the powerful automation feature to comprehensively remod your roster. You can slice through hundreds of mods in seconds, help out your guild in TW. Whole bunch of, really useful features. No wrong way to go at VIP Access Plus. Thank you so much to Aussie Mike, Darth Salea, S. Sotnikem, JJ's dad, Now for me, Mr. Tony, Shake23501, Single Malt Jedi, Snack Attack, Striker, Supermart, Trouble Fingers, and Zoltre. At VIP Access Premium, this is $15 a month for the Double Bot bundle, so Patreon access for me, OmegaBot, Hot Utils, all under one sub. And, if you go out and buy those bots anywhere else, it costs the same as this bundle, which is why so many of my patrons say this is one of the best values in all of Swugga. Thank you so much to Argots, Arj, Bjorn, Big Ninja, Calidus Invictus, Depressed Wampa, Duckstab, Darth Link, General Milan, Ivanek, Johnny B. Ottawa, Hev, Mini GK, Hills, Loon, Twig, Rawling, Aldag, Sir Boss, Sophus, Sprizzle, Lost Womprat, Everboy Gaming, and Wilco. At the top of the list in Jesters Club Elite, first up is Nomad's Reaper. This madman pops into stream from time to time and drops hundreds of subs, thousands of biddies, incredibly generous support, crushing hype train records, time after time, year over year. Thank you so much, my man. To Pills, who, popped in just as recently as this very episode. He will drop into chat, especially recently, and just, he'll drop 10, 20, 30, sometimes well up over 100 subs in one go. So thank you for the incredible generosity, especially as of late. Special thanks, first up, to the Lost Womprat, one of my patrons who also, has a dear spot in my heart for helping me set up my stream deck, making life all that much easier behind the scenes. Thank you, Womp. To Mrs. T, my wife, thank you for all you do in the background, whether that's bringing me a drink or something to eat while I'm recording, or just keeping our daughter from tearing the house apart while I'm trying to be the very best like no one ever was at a phone game. And of course, to my co-hosts here on Plotting and Scheming, Dagger, TJ, Sasha, Aisha, and Fatal. Gentlemen, as always, it is a pleasure and a privilege to record our show together. This week, like every week, I learned something from you, and hopefully the feeling is occasionally mutual. But regardless, it's not about us. It is about the community that's popped up around our show. It's rarely a day goes by where I don't get something positive from a YouTube comment, a DM, something telling me that our show is making a difference on their Grand Arena game. People are raising their game from what we talk about. So appreciate you guys, despite the pressures of work and family and any other constraints, still showing up 2+ years into the show, week after week, getting it done. Wouldn't change a thing. All right, guys, we have made it full circle back around. It is time to make ready. Let's send you guys on out the door. First up will be the YouTube folks, as always. Let's see if there's anybody even live to send you to. I don't have it this Galaxy? Anybody? Nope, doesn't look like it. So, yeah, don't know what to tell you there, folks, on YouTube. It's just going to cut off for you. Nobody else to send you to right now. But nevertheless, thank you for watching. All right, setting up the raid on Twitch side, same category. Anybody around? Okay. There is, wow, there it looks like there's a German guy that's just starting up, and it is morning time in Germany. Is that really our category? But yeah, it is Galaxy Heroes. I don't know, man. Whatever. All right, we're setting up the raid because hey, let's help out another Swoka player, right? Starting that up now, and yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Whether or not you caught this live or seeing the VOD, at the end of the next 5 vs 5 season, I think you can expect us to do this for the week 3 wrap up. So if you enjoyed it, share your feedback. Let us know. And until next time, it's been real. It's been awesome. Been real awesome.